a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. So now the Dolphin offense will stay out there as they'll go for two. It's a run with Mostert. And this time he'll be stopped short of the goal line. He might have been out of gas after the long run. In any event, the try for two fails. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Joe. All right, so we skip the rest of halftime and get set for the third quarter. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He's to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Osa Odighizuwa able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. A run with Mostert up the middle. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. He is going to find Hill here. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 77 yards. And the Dolphins have retaken a third-quarter lead. For as big and strong as... Usually when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Off the squib kick, he corrals it inside the 25. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that, because
and his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Cowboys force the turnover at the 10. Well, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back. Drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Now Prescott. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. John Jenkins breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
They find some open field here. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 46 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So the turnover sets it up, and then a touchdown run here on the ensuing play.
And Brandon, a lot of times you see teams take shots in the passing game on a quick change like this. They go right back and throw one for the end zone. Here they just called a running play looking to get a few yards. But he's able to work his way downfield and take it into the end zone.
And now it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. But you don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Fielded right around the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. It's caught at the 10. A big play here for Dallas. 65 yards. But Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Now Elliott. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. John Jenkins able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. Under pressure, they got him again. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
Prescott to throw on 4th. And it's caught.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas make